All right, we're back. Fucking intro. We don't need one. The Leafs lose 3-2 in overtime to the Vancouver Canucks. Matt, take it away for a little bit. Throw it back to me. I need a second.
Yeah, so the Leafs lost to the Vancouver Canucks, which is pretty embarrassing when you kind of look at that. They haven't played for, what was it, a month? How many days was it? 29? It was
24 days.
So normally in hockey, especially when you get past the trade deadline, games get more intense, and especially a team that hasn't played in forever, you figure the Leafs would destroy them. I was hoping that was the case, but that obviously didn't happen. And Josh texted me in the first 10 minutes saying, "Yeah, we're going to destroy them." So
Josh also mentioned he thought it would be 8-1 on an early prediction towards me. So
fuck, you watch the first 10 minutes of that game, and damn, the Leafs are all over them. I couldn't fucking believe it. And I'll get this right out of the way right now. Great job, Vancouver. You did a fantastic job coming back to win that game. And
coming back, it was always.
Yeah.
Sorry, Josh. It was always pretty close, right? It wasn't a blowout or anything. Coming back.
Yeah, I don't know. Braden Holtby played phenomenal. He made some outstanding saves. He's the reason the Canucks won that game.
Yeah, for sure. That was a great. I think he had one of his best games of the seasons. I mean, I know it was the situation it was in too for Leafs fans.
Okay, but let's get to the bottom of it. The Leafs scored in that final 19 seconds, right? That wasn't just me. That puck was in the fucking net.
It was inconclusive.
Okay, but Matt, you watch the goalie pull the puck out of the net.
No, but I just mean the rule is you literally have to physically see it, in the net. So
it was in the net, dude. I sent you that photo. The puck was in the net.
I guess, man, but I don't know. I saw a lot of people getting heated with that, just kind of the way the game was going. I don't want to say it's no big deal, but I don't know. There's other outcomes in the game which made us lose other than that. You know what I mean? So it's always
for sure. No, yeah, for sure. Yeah. When your power play just takes a dump in the middle of the center ice, you had a 5-minute, what do they call it? A 5-minute major where you can score as many times as you want. We've seen teams score 4 goals to win playoff series with that type of power play, and the Leafs put up an Austin Matthews goal, and he could have done that 5-on-5. That goal, he was telling me, he's going, I've had enough of this shit. We're scoring on the power play. And what blew my mind about that after the game, the ref also missed that one. The ref missed 2 goals. What is the referee's main job? To not control the outcome, but to enforce the rules of the game. He missed 2 of the most. He missed a goal and then went back, saw the puck enter the net and waved it off. And then he missed Matthews putting the puck in the back. Matthews had to signal and tell the ref, hey, that's in.
Okay, but I don't know why you're saying the ref's fault. Marner kept playing. A few of the Canucks kept playing. Josh, I don't understand. I feel like you always throw stuff to the refs that have nothing to do with them. Is this a deep concerning issue? I don't understand what's going on.
Game management needs to go. I don't care about game management, and this last goal has nothing to do with it.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand why you're bringing it up right now. The takeaway for me after that game is the Leafs played really bad. Not that the referee stole the game.
Oh, dude, I haven't even gotten to the Leafs yet. I just want to get the whole referee thing out of the way, man, because that was
It was never in the way.
You blatantly blew a game based on a goal review where you have all the technology in the world to review that.
Yeah, but dude, you couldn't see conclusively that it was in.
Can you remind me of the rule real quick? Because is it fully across the line? Or
it has to be fully across the line. Josh sent me the photo with 3/4 of it across the line.
No, that puck was all the way across.
Okay, but that's your personal opinion. That's not a fact.
It's not my personal opinion. That's a fucking fact.
Well, it didn't count, and they looked at it for 4 minutes.
That picture that I saw was the puck was on the line still. So
exactly. Thank you, Brandon.
But when Braden Holtby is pulling it out of the net.
Right. No, I get that part.
But I do understand. Unfortunately, you can't review the goalie pulling it out of the net. I get that.
Just to.
I'm just pissed.
Go against you for a second here for fun, Josh. I mean, the Leafs were playing a team where you could imagine it was almost an advantage in a situation where you could have an advantage in any NHL game, right? A team that has a respiratory infection or disease or virus rather. And it clearly impacted them. They came out and they said that they didn't want to play right away, and you could also you could see it in the way that they were skating too. They were mentioning some of their most endurance athletes like Bo Horvat were leaning over and having a hard time skating around. So regardless, it goes back to the point of thinking that you thought this was in the bag, and you're complaining, sorry Josh, but about a little goal that we should have potentially had
It's not a
a
little
2-goal
goal.
lead on a 5-man power play on a knee on knee hit that I actually didn't even see in the notes today. Maybe do you think there's going to be suspension on this knee on knee hit?
I think that it's confirmed. Yeah, there's be suspension. He
Well,
has
Yeah, like no. Like, what's the amount of games? You know what I mean?
I think 3.
I'll go 2. I don't know that play. It's kind of it matters. Like just to kind of get on Josh, just back to the goal. Brandon, what you said was actually right, spot on. Like I just kind of feel like as a team, you should come out with a lot more physicality than the Leafs did. Like I just think if coming to that situation, if for the first half of the game, first period, you actually laid the body a bit more, that would hurt them physically as well as mentally. So I just kind of feel like my takeaway from the game is the Leafs are so passive aggressive. Like Josh kind of said, when Matthews turned it on, he scored, but like, where is that the whole game? Not for Matthews, but like everyone.
I agree.
So I just kind of think like we're getting to
Josh
a point.
has overturned his opinion.
Okay, can I bring it back down?
Let me just finish because I'm talking not just this game in general. I think we're getting to a point where I think it's more the bottom 6 because I'm not expecting Nylander or Marner, who played 21 minutes, to like run around and hit people all the time because that's just not really realistic for your skilled players. But some of our defensemen, the bottom 6 forwards, like I just think you can't win in this league, especially in the playoffs, if you don't have that kind of grinder down mentality. Josh, you can take it away now.
I'm gonna bring it back down to earth because I got to look at this from 2 perspectives. I can't just yell as a Leafs fan. I got to look at it from a hockey like analysis type of view.
Like me and Brandon have been doing.
Yes, I understand why the goal wasn't allowed. I do get that. But
dude, fuck, we're not talking about the goal anymore.
I just wanted to address that. But
okay.
The Leafs had a chance to bury the Canucks. If you take away all the opportunities they had outside of the power play, they still should have won that game. When you cannot convert on the power play and it's costing you games, that is an issue when you have the amount of talent they have on the power play. And it feels like a broken narrative now. You know what I mean? Like it's just getting tiring to talk about it. Like this power play isn't scoring. This power play isn't scoring. Okay, why are they not scoring? Can we get to the bottom of that?
My personal opinion is I don't understand why Keefe doesn't just say screw it. Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Tavares, and Riley. Because like no offense,
what he did last night, no?
He did it for the last bit because we had the 5-minute majors. That's what he's doing. But I'm talking about in general. Because no offense to guys like Simmons and Thornton and Spezza and Muzzin has gotten a lot of minutes.
They shouldn't.
I agree with you, Josh. I don't think they should be relied upon. And also, like I said, it's not fair to them. Like I don't understand that you can't expect Jason Spezza, Thornton, and Simmons to score every game. Like just not realistic. Like their roles vary night to night. But I don't even think they should get power play minutes. Like it's different if you want to put Robertson in or like a young guy who actually has a scoring touch. But like I just don't understand why we don't just load it up forever. You know what I mean? Because I don't even see like it sounds dumb, but like it's not even like our players are in a slump. Like Matthews, Marner, and Nylander have been scoring goals. It's really just the unit as a collective group is in a slump. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't mind Spezza on the power play. Brandon, I'd like to know your thoughts on Spezza on the power play too.
On the first power play.
First or second. I thought he's played well this year. I think he's earned that power play slot.
Second power play.
So you want to know my opinion on him on the power play in general?
Yeah, first or second, doesn't matter.
What would I tell you if I thought he was a little bit more effective than Joe Thornton on any of the power plays?
I think Joe Thornton is the least effective forward on this team.
Okay, so there we have a little bit of a conversation starter there. I don't think Jason Spezza is completely irrelevant on the power play. I believe that his experience is half the reason he's there, right? He's almost like that old school backup quarterback who's on the brink of retirement, but he knows the game very well. Not sure who that exact.
Sorry, Brandon. We have Matt. I owe you a handshake and a kiss. On the cheek. The Vancouver Canucks. Alex Edler has been suspended for 2 games.
I lost my track of mind. Where was I?
Okay. Anyways, just getting back on track. Thanks for that, Josh. But what Brandon is basically saying, correct me if I'm wrong, is like Spezza's not irrelevant. He can play a role like a backup quarterback in
Josh was asking
football.
me about Spezza on the power
But
play.
I just personally think
Right.
he's irrelevant compared to Matthews, Marner, and Nylander. That's
Yeah,
more my point.
That's a good point. I guess I'll talk about that too, because in Josh's question, you're thinking about both units, but for your question, you're thinking about the top unit. I don't think he belongs on that for sure. Second unit, potentially, yes. Joe Thornton, neither of the units. But I guess if Josh is asking me about Spezza is Josh asking me about Spezza on either of them, I think he could still belong there. However, to Matt's point, right? Obviously, he's not going to take out those high-end names. We're looking at bringing other guys in, like who are you taking off of the second? So Thornton and Spezza, and then who are you putting back on there, right? Like I like Galchenyuk still far.
Mm-hmm.
Who else can play offensive hockey that might want to score goals? Like
Nick Foligno?
So that's exciting too, actually.
Yeah. He should.
But that might also create a spot for someone to bump down from the first to the second too, because maybe you want him on your first.
So I think he takes Nylander's spot on the top power play. Just saying.
I think that's absurd.
That's going to be interesting. I wanted to know your opinion on Nylander last night on his goal.
No, but Josh, why? Everyone says spread it out. I don't understand why they can't be on for a minute 45. Like when I watch Edmonton, McDavid and Draisaitl, they don't leave. Ovi does not leave the power play.
Matt, I'm watching the product I'm getting, and that's what I'm making my opinions on. Keith's never going to stack that top power play. He hasn't done it all year.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's a problem.
If it was my choice, you're going with your fuck it, go with 5-4s. I don't care. Maybe don't do that, but you know what I mean. Like,
I know what you're trying to say. Yeah.
Load up that front power play, but when Foligno slots in, I think it's going to be him on that top power play unit, and then it comes back down. So just before we move on, Matt, sorry, because I know we're pressed for time. Alex,
no, it's fine. I want to ask you a question really quick. It's actually important. So I feel like maybe media, I think it's more media driven than fans. Mike Babcock got so much criticism from playing his fourth line to all this nitpicking. Why has Sheldon Keefe received none of the criticism for something as small as not putting your best players on the power play? I've seen no criticism to Sheldon Keefe at all.
I think it's success because if you look at the standings, they're first in the division. Okay,
well, we've gone on 2 really bad losing streaks this year, so I think that's all relative to where we're trying to go and not really what the standings say.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels weird to me. Like nobody can really put a finger on why this power play is so.
I just did
such a slump. But is that the answer though?
Yes, it is. But we don't know because he never tries the solution. Therefore, I think it's my answer.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So anyway, Josh, you can move on now.
I just want a quick reaction before we move on to that Alex Edler 2-game suspension for his neon Hyman.
Well, yeah, I guessed it. So yeah, that's correct.
Brandon, what do you think?
No, yeah. No, I'll break down.
I think it should have been 3 potentially. I think it was one of the more clean ones I've seen in recent history, and especially by.
Is there a clean neon knee though?
Well, you didn't let me finish. I said by definition of the rule, right? You have the chintzy ones, if you will, that are kind of featherly, that are just a little bit touchy, and then you have ones that are very, very clear to see. So 2 games is whatever. It kind of caught me off guard too, right? Because you're mad about it right away. So you hope that you get like the immediate power play. So we got the 5-minute, but I have no update on Hyman. Do we know if he's hurt potentially for the future?
So the way I've been seeing it on social media is people think that the Leafs were going to put Hyman's update out after the Edler suspension is to not sway the suspension. And they haven't put it out yet as of the recording of this show. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see it pretty soon. They're in Vancouver, so they're skating on Vancouver time. So I guess their practice would be around 5 o'clock today. So we'll see.
Well, I'm no doctor, but with the knee, don't you have to wait to see if it like the swelling goes down and you know what I'm trying to say?
I don't
know. Those
ones
hurt for sure, right? Like it depends how.
I'm sure
they all have different severities. I would imagine for sure.
I'm sure we've all banged our knee pretty hard. Like it doesn't feel good for the next 18 to 24 hours.
Yeah, but just going on the Edler suspension, I was probably only 2 games instead of 3, like you guys talked about. Probably because it's a shortened season and the Canucks have been out for like a month, like you guys said. So like they probably don't even know when their next like 3 games. Like you know what I mean? Like I just think they probably weren't gonna like throw the book at him because he is a relatively clean player and he's been in the league for I think he's played 1,000 games. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I just kind of think they probably gave him the benefit of the doubt. And on that play, it was kind of a bang play. Hyman would have beat him, so he just tried to get a piece of him. But when that happens in hockey, you tend to stick your knee out. So I'm not saying it was an accident, but it was kind of like it was borderline dirty. But like I don't think it's different if like a guy has the puck and you're going to body check him and you only hit his knee. Like you see that on the boards a bit more. Yeah. That was bang. It was so fast. And I personally don't think.
Did you guys catch the? Yeah. Sorry. Did you catch the commentators talking about his history actually of those knee on knees? He actually
He's had a lot.
He's actually had a lot. Yeah. He's actually had a couple in NHL, and they were mentioning some in like the international play, but like
international play they give you a penalty for everything.
I know it doesn't affect the NHL, but he also had like a significant amount in the NHL too. I think not that I don't think he's the dirtiest player when you ask me that guy who comes to mind, but it was interesting to note that he had a history, I think.
But they can't take into history outside of 18 months, which I think is stupid.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting way to look at it as well.
Right. So let's move on.
Well, it's the rule.
Speaking of dumbass decisions, Tortorella has decided to bench Domi tonight.
That was a good decision.
I don't really care about Max Domi, but I'd love to hear about what's going on here.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys saw this, but Domi is benched because a few games ago he attacked somebody. So I don't know if you guys saw this play.
Yeah,
but
I think I
you saw that. Yeah,
he apologized for it, right?
He apologized it, but he also made fun of the defenseman for not stepping up to the plate, which is kind of funny. So if people who don't see the play, I'll just go through it quickly. Domi got a penalty for hooking, and when you get a penalty, you're just upset. So instead of like playing, Domi attacked the guy who he hooked because I guess he was just mad. The guy didn't drop the gloves, and Domi's small, like 5'9" probably, and the defenseman was like 6'5", so it looked kind of funny seeing Domi jump up and throw hands. But I think Torch has benched him because I like Josh. Maybe if you have his points right in front of you, my internet's not working. But I think he only has like 4 or 5 goals. Like Max Domi has not had a good year by any metric, especially when you look at Columbus. He had a situation where they gave him
first line. No good year on Columbus, man.
No, but I mean, like I feel like as a forward, like your team could still kind of suck, but you have a better year just in terms of getting power play goals and all that type of stuff. Like I understand
it. Player, Domi or Line, like who would you take?
Well, they're on the same team.
I know, but who's your go-to guy if you had to put the puck through one of their sticks on the power play?
So this year, Max Domi has 7 goals, 12 assists, 19 points. Ooh, Jesus, he's a minus 18 with 67 penalty minutes. Jesus.
Wait, how many points in how many games? Can you just say that quick?
19 points in 46 games.
Yeah, if you're getting top 6 minutes, I would prefer that to be better.
46. Yeah. They played 46 games. Wow.
Yeah, so I think this is Torts just kind of, I don't know. I think Torts knows he's on the way out, so he's just trying to fuck with people. But like, I understand why he's held the scratch.
Have we not been saying that since the beginning of the season? This guy's just been doing shit for no reason.
Yeah, I don't like him as a coach. I don't know if these are the decisions that will like define his career, obviously. However, if he's trying to play his way out of the league,
I think he's going to retire.
These are and I guess that's the thing, right? He has his deals are the end of the year. So exciting times if you're looking at it from Columbus fans. If you hate Tortorella's and you're waiting for the days to see that decision come up. And I know the hockey world is excited too. Maybe it's the last day we'll ever see him. And I think I personally would enjoy it if it was the last season behind the bench for John.
I just one the whole thing of benching your like publicly
Josh is really touched by this point here.
I just don't understand publicly healthy scratching your players. I don't get that. Because now that opens up a whole can of worms. I haven't seen what Max Domi said about it. I saw.
What about publicly healthy scratching your top players? Is that what you're trying to say though as well?
Yeah,
though?
like I don't.
You can do that to some bottom guys like Frederick Gauthier or something like that.
No, leave Freddie the goat alone, man.
Yeah, Josh, I know what you're trying to say because like it kind of makes you ask the question like, did they do anything bad off ice? Is this like a bigger situation?
I think the coach lose some respect in the locker room for that because Domi's probably a top 3 player in Columbus, top 5.
Yeah, well,
it's not the first time it's happened, though, right? Yeah. Especially this year with Line A too.
Yeah, like if there was a coach to do it in the NHL, it's not.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised.
John
actually.
Tortorella. Yeah, I don't know.
That Torch is an idiot. Let's move on.
He's already benched the pick they got from Toronto, so. Patrick Marleau's going to break Gordie Howe's game played record. Now,
that was exciting to see last night, actually.
Well, he's doing it tonight, so.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that there was a big handshake, and it was cool to see the reaction.
Yeah, that was when he. Sorry, yeah. That was when he tied the record.
I think it's cool to witness that. We're still witnessing it, right? Like, it's still cool to see in general. I mean, it's not a points or goals barrier, but it's something that I don't know. Is there anyone else who's even going to touch that soon, or what? Is someone else trailing Marlowe,
I don't think.
Yeah, I think he's gone and he's far away.
It's pretty good to see. It's pretty cool to see. What does he maybe have 2 cap? Maybe 1 year max. Maybe this is last year. What do you guys think?
I think it's probably his last year.
This will be his last year.
I've seen people giving him weird handshakes for like almost like a week now. So like I don't know if it's just for the record. To talk about handshake, I just think it's so odd because it wasn't like it was literally like the most formal handshake. Like, Josh, don't you think it's weird? It was on the ice too. Like I don't know.
I guess.
I know, but like in like NBA or football, you see them dap up, make jokes, laugh. But like that like that was like a handshake you get to like.
It's like Brandon. Great job.
Yeah, like your friend's dad. Like it was a little awkward. It made me laugh. But hockey. I like hockey culture. It's so fun. That was so weird.
Yeah, for sure.
So this I think so. Is this the most historic record we're seeing being? We're all within around the same age range. Is this the most historic record we're seeing broken?
I can't wait for Ovi to break Gretzky's record. To be honest with you,
that's what I was just about to ask.
Oh, okay, I want to see that one.
Like, do we think Ovi will do it?
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
I don't even want to put it. I don't want to say like I just want to watch. You know what I mean?
So do you guys want to hear my question first and then a dumb tweet, or do you want to hear the dumb tweet and then my question?
Dumb tweet and then the question.
Okay, this is from Steve Simmons. Hart trophies 1, Gretzky 9, Gordie Howe 6, Shore 4, Ovi, Lemieux, or Clark, Moranez all have 3. Patrick Marleau once finished 9th in Hart voting.
Wait, is there like more context to that? I don't get it.
No,
like why did he say that?
I don't know why he said that.
No, but like, did he say like Marleau doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame? Did he say something like that?
I think that is the insinuation of the tweet. And my counter is, if you break all-time games played, you're in the Hall of Fame.
Yo, relax though. That could be like a depth defenseman who just found a way just to struggle from like age 18 to like 45.
But dude, that amount of games played and the impact he's had on the game of hockey, that's pretty impressive.
I know what you're trying to say. And I don't know. I think the Hall of Fame is kind of tough. Because
sorry, Matt, he has gold medals as well, right, at the Olympics?
Yeah. Dude, he's a great player. Like, Steve Simmons is dumb. You're correct, but I
think.
What's the question you're posing on this tweet?
Does he? No, my question is he a Hall of Famer? Okay, he'll make this Hall of Fame, but if it was my Hall of Fame, I wouldn't put him in. No.
I think people.
He would make Matt's Hall of Fame, but he would make the World's Hockey Hall of Fame. I think
people forget it's not the NHL Hall of Fame.
Exactly. That's my
People.
What is it?
Just hockey.
Yeah, it's just the Hockey Hall of Fame. Yeah.
It's not the NHL Hall of Fame.
But like, I just think of it, the Hall of Fame is like, how can something be so hard if like 6 people do it a year? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, that doesn't really make sense. And like, when you look at some people that got in, they get passed up for like 20 years, but then they finally get in. And it's like, hey, if you're not a first ballot, second ballot, like, how good was your career really? Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I just kind of feel like, I hate the narrative that you have to win a cup to get in, because that kind of doesn't really make any sense. But I do think like some of the awards, like maybe MVP, goal scoring, even some of the stupid awards like Lady Bing, Mark Messier, like in terms of your resume kind of matter. Because like, I don't know, like if Marleau gets in, could you make the argument, oh, Brad Marchand should get in?
Brad Marchand should get in.
No, but you know what I mean? Then like if by using that logic, there's like 30 Hall of Famers in the league right now. And I just don't think that's really realistic. Cup, right? No, he doesn't have any cups. You're right, Brandon.
Marchand has like 3 or something like that.
He has 1, but he was like a role player.
Brad Marchand?
Yeah, he won in 2010.
Are you sure?
Boston only has 1 Stanley Cup.
Boston's won it. No, Boston's.
Personally, I think that Marleau.
Wait, Josh, you want to make a bet right now?
Hall of Fame.
Sorry, keep talking, Brandon.
He's done a lot for the game. I don't know. Obviously, his legacy isn't necessarily that of a champion, but he's a teammate that was highly desirable on the free agent market.
Yeah, Marchand only does have 1 cup. Fuck me. Why did I think he had like 3?
Once he got to the end of his career, people were hunting for Marleau. It was cool to see Marleau on the Leafs for a bit. He was playing well. And, we got to experience him break some records. And he's breaking some records on the scoring list, top 10, I'm sure, top 20 on some scoring lists. And, I guess if this is the last season we'll be seeing him, I mean, not the most exciting player right now to be seen on the ice, but I think with the way they do it and the generosity, I'm sure Patrick Marleau will definitely. It's a feat, right? Like this is one of the greatest things probably to happen, other than breaking all the point records. So good for him. I think he gets in.
I think he'll get in just based off that record, right?
What's next?
Whatever you guys want to talk about, man. Like we're just chilling. Just let me pull up the list. That's why I'm stalling. So we got OHL. They didn't play this year, but they are striking a new TV deal with TSN, breaking away from Rogers. So Rogers is going to buy out the rest of that deal. And let me open this with a question: how many times have you guys seen an OHL game on TV?
Actually, a few times. I actually, when it was back on, like not because they haven't been playing, but back in regular situations, I actually do. Remember in the playoffs, but they weren't always live. They weren't always live games. So it was kind of stupid. Like it would happen on a Sunday afternoon, and then I would see the replay on a Monday afternoon when I was like on lunch or something. So
sorry, Brandon.
I think it would be a cooler situation, yeah, if they were live and it was more accessible. But I mean, I remember personally, I wouldn't always watch for the longest. And it had to be the best game on the schedule. You know what I mean?
So I'm going to stand by. I'm just going to open this with a statement. I think the World Juniors are only popular because of the TSN deal. Now, I think the OHL is about to be one of the most popular junior leagues in the world because of this TSN deal. It's going to give them so much exposure. I think they're airing, like, I've seen multiple reports, and they're airing between 75 to 90% of the games, which I think is phenomenal for junior hockey. I struggle to find an OHL game on TV when they're playing. You know what I mean? Like I always have to look for a stream or something through OHL TV or whatever. I think this deal is a great idea. Like I think that's a huge pickup by TSN. Now they don't have to air like, I don't know, poker or whatever. Now they can actually put a junior game on TV. And even if it's the next day, we can actually see these prospects in action, our local prospects. I can actually watch my Hamilton Bulldogs, or I can watch the London Knights. It's actually going to be a pretty cool deal. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I watched quite a lot about OHL. I guess it depends what like package you have or something. But yeah, like Rogers? You said, it would be kind of Well,
that's why Rogers has the deal.
Okay, whatever. Anyways, my point is like, yeah, it is kind of good that it's more accessible for everyone, I guess. But I don't know, Josh. You said it would be one of the biggest junior leagues in the world. I think it already is the biggest junior league in the world.
No, I think the WHL might be.
Okay, well, CHL. Okay, yeah, I guess. But yeah, whatever. Yeah, so it's a good thing for all the young guys. So yeah, it's good, I guess.
Yeah.
Can we do match debates?
Any other thoughts on that?
Whoa.
Matt, we got a couple more things to go here, buddy.
Give me 5 minutes for something here. Like.
Okay, so do we want to talk about this Van Vliet thing or no?
I don't know what these comments are, so hurry up and get them out of the way because I got some Raptors comments, but I don't know what this is.
Van Vliet pretty much said that the NBA is prioritizing its money over the players.
Yes. Okay.
Who said that?
Fred Van Vliet.
He can shut up.
So recently, actually, for some more context, I think the Raptors got fined for not doing the players' injury protocol and benching system or load management program properly, I guess, for lack of a better term of whatever the code is. But they got fined for that. A couple other teams got fined for that recently. In terms of Fred VanVleet speaking out upon this, it's hard to say that his opinions are completely valid. I thought about this last night because in the NHL and the NBA, people are getting hurt a little bit more often now, and I was thinking, is this the corporation's fault? Is this the organization? Is this the league's fault? Is this the people's fault for wanting these players to go at it right now on such a tough schedule? And I think at the same time, if the world is giving them the platform here, like we're letting you use, like Toronto is in a lockdown, Ontario, like Ottawa, Ontario, and then we're letting you guys play hockey here. Like it's almost a privilege, I would imagine, if these situations were brought upon us. Obviously, I think that we know that not many leagues are making money, right? Like the NHL admitted they were losing profit. Mm-hmm. However, if you're gonna play, like you're a professional athlete, I think some players have been really fine. I said 85% of both of those, all the major leagues right now being rushed are healthy, but some of the high end guys are getting hurt, and I think obviously with these Raptors getting fined, they're just trying to save some energy for the playoff run, I would imagine, right?
Right. So The Raptors are currently in that 10th spot. So just quick yes or no, because I feel like it's not really an important question. But should the Raptors aim for that, play-in round, which is kind of a joke that's been put in by the NBA, or should they just tank?
Well, yeah, I think I know where you're going with this, and I think that it's their direction right now, especially with Gary Trent Jr. and some healthy team and lineups, is to make that strive for the playoffs, regardless of it's the 8th, 7th, or 11th or 10th spot. So personally, obviously, I don't think they're heading for any type of tanking situation. I don't think that that's ever been even if we were worse than we are right now in terms of our record, that's never been anything in terms of our ideas or Masai's ideas. I think that if it's the 9th or 10th, we're going to get in there, and if we're going to lose, we're going to lose with the chance that we had to get into the playoffs. But I'd be curious to see what you think.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, the players are always going to want to do the best they can do. There was some comments from Nick Nurse the other day that indicated that he doesn't have full control over the lineup night to night, because he said they tell me who's available and I just put the best lineup out that's available. It sounds like to me management wants to tank, but the players kind of want to make this push. So we'll see what happens. So we'll see. I don't think it really matters what the Raptors do, because they're not getting past the second round anyway. You know what I mean?
Matt's been quiet. Matt, come on.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, I don't think we're tanking just because, like, if we wanted to tank, we would have just traded Lowry for like picks and stuff. So I don't really say tanking is like an option for us, but yeah, I don't know. I just think the whole Raptor situation has been disappointing. And going back to Frank VanVleet, and I don't really care what he says, because making money over this. I remember he went in free agency either this summer, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I just want whoever gives me the most money." Like, if I saw you say that comment 6 months ago or like the off season, and now you're like, all the NBA cares about money. It's like, dude, I've literally heard you say the words, all I care about is money, because I'm an underdog and it's finally time for me to get paid. It's like, I think it kind of goes both ways. And especially when you look at the NBA, like the majority of their players make like God knows how much money. Like they make more off their endorsements than they do their actual NBA contract. So like in terms of like, I don't want to say complaining, but in terms of like saying all the NBA cares about money, it's like, yeah, it's a business. What do you expect?
Yeah, I know. Matt, you a soccer fan?
No.
Okay, so but
I
you
don't
have
know.
I know. Yeah, we had a great conversation about that last show. So are you familiar with like the Premier League, like the whole Champions League setup? We're all familiar.
Dude, we don't
with
have to talk about soccer. No one knows.
It's important though. So a new league has been.
I told him he could have 30 seconds. Okay, Matt. So.
Okay, go, Josh. Go quick. Like seriously.
It's called the. No, it's important because it could actually affect the world economy. So it's called the Super League, and it's going to take 12 of the best European soccer teams out of their current leagues to create their own private league. It's a $6 billion startup. So the teams you're most familiar with, like Real Madrid's joining this, Barcelona, Arsenal, Tottenham, both Manchesters, like they are leaving the Premier League to join this league.
Oh no!
Because they want more money. But UEFA has clapped back and said, and I'm now just realizing that you guys don't give a fuck about this, so I'm gonna do a separate show with an actual soccer fan. So
no, let me explain why. It's because, dude, I remember when Ronaldo switched teams, they like traded him for like $700 million. Like soccer, like the rules just changed, and like it's so like let me do match debates, and then you take it wherever you want.
Okay, yeah, fine. Yeah, but let me finish this up. So this would be to translate it into your guys' language. This would be equivalent of the 5 best NHL teams, the 5 best KHL teams, and the 5 best
I understand.
KHL teams leaving their league. But then, so these players who are joining the Super League are also going to be excluded from the European Championship, the European Cup, and the World Cup.
Okay, cool.
So they probably, it's not going to happen.
Okay, so question one's in Matt's debates. I saw Josh want to talk about Jake Paul, so talk about him. Who would be your dream celebrity boxing match? So if you could box one celebrity, who would it be?
Oh, never mind. Josh, you go first.
Dude, I need a second. That's a loaded question.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm a big fan of him, but I just feel like it would be so entertaining. I would want to fight Drake. Just because just hearing his music, I feel like he has a really sensitive side, but he also has like a sicko mode side. Because I don't think I've ever like seen an
Yo,
artist
I
be
would
so
love
good
to
at
fight
R&B.
the Kid Leroy. Like I would just beat him to a okay, just because I don't like. I just think it would be maybe evenly matched up, and one slip up and I could just ruin his career, ruin his his whole.
Josh, would you pick a
foundation.
hockey player or who would you pick?
I'm just thinking, man. Like, there's so many celebrities.
The fact I picked him, he has no
You can name like 20. You can just go
he can
crazy.
sing all he wants. I'll just fold him like a freaking.
Does it have
Just ask this question last because I have 2 hockey ones. Who would win in a series? Because they're gonna play the Oilers or the Jets. So just say what team you think's gonna win. I'm gonna go Oilers in 7, just because of McJesus.
Oilers in 6 because of McJesus.
The Jets in 4.
Nice pick, Brandon. Okay, final question. This is funny. Who is gonna finish last next year in the NHL? So what team do you think is just gonna fall off a cliff?
Detroit.
Okay, that's a good pick. I'm gonna go with 2. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'll go Buffalo. Josh, who do you want to go?
I'm gonna say Buffalo. There's no fucking hope there, man. Like the Buffalo.
Fuck you, Detroit, all the way.
The Buffalo Sabres should be relegated to the AHL.
That's funny. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Thank you all for watching. Josh and Brandon will carry the show on for 10 minutes. Maybe they'll talk about their hockey cards or something. But yeah.
No, we're gonna talk about the Jake Paul fight.
Okay. Yeah, I actually said I thought Jake Paul would win. Just want to throw that in there before I did.
It
Goodbye.
was his own event. Of course he's gonna win. That guy's a dumbass.
I believe that just actually happened.
That was funny though. I actually like that. So did you watch the Jake Paul fight?
No, I know.
See the 30 seconds of it?
Yeah, so if you watch the highlight, you watched the whole fight, I guess.
Yeah, man. Like seriously.
It was.
I don't know. I don't think we need to dissect.
I've actually been waiting to talk to you about this.
I don't think we need to dissect the fight. I think.
Do you think it was staged?
That's what I was just about to ask you.
Fuck you. I want to ask you first because I have seen some clips that suggest it, but it just makes me like lose all faith in the entertainment world. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to go down that road right now.
It had a very WWE.
But money
vibe.
talks. You know what I mean? So. Did
it not have a very WWE vibe to it?
Did you see the videos? I know I'm not answering, but I'm just saying. Did you see the videos of his Ben Askren's like MMA fights? Gets knocked like 5 times on his head while he's laying on the ground and stays awake, and then he takes one boxing punch from a celebrity TikToker, and all of a sudden he's folded like a piece of paper. It was funny to see that on the way out with his wife or his girl or whatever, he was smiling and in good spirits, and.
I just wanted the payday.
We all know that he wasn't getting like the most lump sum of the money anyway, like in terms of being.
But he was probably getting enough money to justify just being lightly touched and then.
It was funny because I heard a little clip of him saying that he thought the referee was paid off, so he's trying to cover up his tracks by blaming it a little bit on someone else. But I mean, the referee, he was stumbling over. I wouldn't blame the referee necessarily. I just think that the whole situation. Makes sense that it could have been rigged because it does well for the entertainment world if this celebrity Jake whatever the Paul sisters are on the rise or something.
So my buddy sent me this message, and before I even asked the question, I'm gonna say it just
shout out Josh's buddy. Do I know Josh's buddy? Is that Sam?
No, we're not gonna say who it was because I don't think he would want to be publicly humiliated this badly. But he said that it was Sam. But he said that it would. Should we just accept that Jake Paul is a good boxer? And I said, no, he's fought. He fought a YouTuber, a retired NBA player, and a retired UFC fighter who's had a hip replacement surgery. Fight a real boxer, and then maybe talk.
Once he fights a real boxer, a registered guy who's been in the boxing circuit for a couple years, I don't know. That's when I'll take it a little bit more serious. I think that this record isn't. This is an amateur record as far as I'm concerned.
It's not a real record. That's like me going down to the bar and boxing.
But they're real fights,
3
right?
guys who are 19 Coors Lights deep and saying, "Oh yeah, I'm 18-0 at the Chuck's Roadhouse down the road." Fuck this guy.
I knew you would say that. That's your record down there, isn't it?
Yeah, this guy's not winning real fights. He's not.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. I think I want to see that's when the judgment for me will come out is when he goes against a real trained boxer, right? I think that this was a step in the right direction because there's a trained fighter, potentially at least experienced fighter, regardless, it wasn't a boxer. And I think that the whole argument is that he wants to box people. Okay, well, let's put a real boxer in the ring.
Well, that's the thing. One of them's fighting Paul Mayweather. I don't know when that is. That Paul Mayweather.
Paul
Floyd
Mayweather?
Sorry, Logan Paul is fighting Floyd Mayweather.
That would be good. That would be surprising because it almost seems a little bit too good to be true, as if it would be staged. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that's a real fight there.
Oh, so that was supposed to happen on February 20th, but it's been postponed.
Right.
I don't know why that was postponed. See, that's how looped in I am to the celebrity boxing world, man. Like, I'd rather just see a proper boxing match. You know? Like, these celebrity fights don't make any sense.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about for sure.
Like, I feel like it's hurting the boxing game. And like I feel like these Triller events, because that's the company that hosts them, they're for entertainment.
Triller, we should just talk about this because I want to get your opinion on Triller as well, because they're trying to become this sort of relevancy to the world as if TikTok was the same platform. You know what I mean? They're thinking that they're this generational platform or application that they base off dances and viral videos as well, but then they want to get like these crazy events that have horrible narratives or horrible stories behind them.
Yeah,
like really wonky stories, like not professional stories made up. I think it was pretty sad. Like you could hear Snoop Dogg money. I'd be potentially betting it on.
If I had Snoop Dogg, I'd throw down 10 million.
Right. So, but like it's just I think that was Snoop Dogg betting on this match is it might show the direction of this Triller app. You know what I mean? What they stand for and what they look to get in an event. You know.
I just don't think either one of these brothers are ever gonna fight a real boxer. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Well, I guess time will tell, right? Like I hope so, but we can't force them to do anything.
Like whoever was it, Jake Paul that fought the fight? Was it Logan? I don't even know whichever Paul brother fought the fight.
I don't know. I don't know which one it was either. It was. I don't know actually. I can't.
They're both fucking losers. They were in their dressing room saying like, "Oh, I'm the greatest boxer of all time." Like, buddy, you box the equivalent of your uncle. Like, chill.
Yeah. Right.
Like, my God,
let's talk some NHL and NBA. Let's talk some standings and I want to get some.
Oh, are we going off the script? I love this. Let's roll.
Yeah, fuck. What do you have? Do you have somewhere to be?
This is the Orionsportcast After Hours.
All right. So we got, what do you have? Like 15 games left in the NHL. Probably just around a little bit more in the NBA. We'll talk where Josh is more familiar here. So you have a busy Discover. Let's get into the sponsorship names. The Discover Central division here.
Do I need to pull up these standings, or are you gonna read them to me?
No, I think I'd love to hear your blind professional opinion. So you got Carolina, Florida, Tampa Bay, Nashville. In that order, the teams there. So if you have a first round of Carolina, Nashville, Florida, Tampa, who wins? Don't give me the series number, but who moves on to the next round out of that?
Ooh. So I think Carolina definitely beats Nashville. Dallas is taking that spot. So I say Dallas. Ooh. Carolina moves on, and then Florida, Tampa. That's a fun one. I think Florida definitely has.
You gotta give it to me quicker than this.
I think Florida. I gotta explain. Like, I think Florida definitely has the capability of beating Tampa Bay, but
Lay off Tampa.
I gotta take Tampa because they're gonna have Stammer and Kucherov back.
So I would imagine the Rangers stay where they are. So who moves on out of the Washington plays Boston and Pittsburgh plays the Islanders? Let me say something real quick.
Washington, Boston. Wow.
I'll go first. I'd say that Boston, with the acquisition of Taylor Hall, could do some Game 7 damage against this Washington team, because that's the first and fourth. So that's a big match right there. Let's say I say Boston there, and I'd like to see Pittsburgh. I'd say Pittsburgh as well. But I those I'm literally counting out the top two teams in the division right there. So that's just my personal opinion.
I think Washington beats Boston. And then what was the other one?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Pittsburgh and Barzell versus the Islanders.
I think the Islanders beat Pittsburgh. I think the Islanders
beat
Pittsburgh, yeah.
We're not going to talk about this Scotiabank North Division. We've talked about it immensely.
Leafs beat Habs, Jets beat Oilers. Let's move on.
Yeah. So we have
Wait, I took the
Colorado
Oilers earlier though. Okay, whatever.
playing Colorado #1, playing fourth Arizona, but that could easily be St. Louis. So regardless, I'd say Colorado's coming out on top there, and then you have Vegas and Minnesota. I'd say Vegas comes out top, but
I wouldn't be shocked if
Minnesota could be
won
one
that
of the
series.
surprising stories here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota won
There's
that
a
series.
huge gap. I don't know if you've seen it, but like between third and fourth here, Minnesota has a 12-point advantage on being on the last. They're like third, and they're 12 points ahead of fourth, but they're like 8 points back of top two. So like they have a huge gap on third, but like top two are tied right now, Colorado and Vegas. But I think Vegas and Colorado have that one maxed, locked up rather.
I don't know if it's just me, man, but like these other divisions just feel like other leagues to me right now.
So you have the same two teams, eh?
Yeah. But have you been watching many games from the other leagues?
Not live, but I've seen the highlights. I've been keeping up. Let's play some NBA type same thing, and then let's wrap up here because I don't know why, but don't want to keep it too long here. Let's say the Eastern Conference. As of today, the 76ers will take on the Hornets. So unfortunately, I'm excluding the play-in tournament right now, but that's whatever. Yeah. The Hornets have that 8th spot. So 76ers versus the Hornets. The Hornets could do some, surprising things. Hopefully, if LaMelo Ball's back, you never know if they could squeak in 2 wins. You need a healthy 76ers, and it's theirs to win for sure. So their series. The Nets will play the Heat. Unfortunately, the Heat are a really high-end team. But placed in this situation, Brooklyn's just going to have the fire and superstar power to overcome this one. The Knicks and the Bucks. This would be a great one to see because the Bucks aren't always the hottest playoff team, and the Knicks are on a hot roll right now. So it could come down to a streaky team, and the Bucks have never shown immense playoff strength, right? So I'd love to see the Knicks come out on top there, to be honest. And Hawks versus Celtics. The Hawks are still young and learning, so I think the Celtics will overcome that one for sure. I don't know if you have that up in front of you right now.
I do not. Can I just give you my NBA final prediction because I don't care about the rest of the playoffs?
Your NBA Eastern final position. Give
Eastern
me the top
final. Eastern. Is that? That would be
the top 4 teams in the East are the 76ers, the Nets, the Bucks, and the Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm thinking to do that. So I will go. So final 4, I think you're looking at the Sixers versus the Knicks. I think the Knicks will do it. And I'll go Nets. I'll go Nets and Bucks. And then the Western Conference, I'll go. Okay, so this is my only question because, are the Jazz for real? Or is that?
They'll be.
Okay, so let me. I've actually wanted to ask you this for a while. I keep forgetting. So the Jazz, the Suns, the Clippers, and the Nuggets are all ahead of the Lakers. As soon as LeBron comes back, and Anthony Davis, are the Lakers just going to storm up in the standings?
Yeah, I don't know when they're coming back. I think they might have started a practice, but the NBA is coming down to the wire too. So I hope that they can still get in. Regardless, if they're in 2 or 3 games before the playoffs, I think that's enough for them to get right into shape. And if
what's going on?
If you're the Lakers,
welcome to the show.
Wow.
So we're recording live. Welcome to the show, Azaz. We're going to cut off the NBA talk right now.
Thanks for having me, guys.
I want to hear everybody's prediction. No, before I get to this, Azaz, in 30 seconds or less, can you explain this whole soccer situation to Brandon?
Yeah, I can explain it. So basically, there's American investor, JP, whatever the hell it is. They want to create their own league. So what they've done is they've invited 12 teams from across Europe, from England, from Italy, and Spain. The teams from Germany and France said they're not going to be a part of it. So they're trying to create their own league that is separate from the Champions League. So basically what they want these teams to do is ditch that Champions League format and join a Super League, which will run all year round, and all the teams in it will play each other on a home and away basis. And it's just supposed to replace the Champions League. However, the thing is, the other leagues, they don't want these teams going to that league because they're going to lose out on revenue and stuff like that. So it's just like a money thing. It's just US investors trying to capitalize on soccer, basically. They're just trying to take advantage of the system. So basically what happens is the teams in England, they make a lot of money off of TV deals. The teams in Spain and other countries don't. So what they're doing now is they're offering these teams more money to come play a part of this league. So obviously the Spanish teams and the Italian teams jumped on board because they want to make more money. And so now they said to the English teams, we'll give you even more money than you're already getting if you join a part of this league. So basically that's what they want. But the Super League said, hey, you guys can still play in England. But England's like, no, you're not. If you join that league, you're done with us. We don't want anything to do with you. And they said, if you go join that Super League, we're gonna fine you. We're gonna sue you for $70 to $80 million, or was it billion? I'm not sure. But yeah, it's
Right. Yeah, it was 40 to 50 billion euros per team, which I think is absolutely. So Brandon's just stepped away for a second. He had to go do something. So you and I can talk about this. We got a little info. I was trying to explain it to the guys earlier, and they just laughed at me because they're not soccer fans. But so this Super League, man. I personally, after all the info, and I know you and I are going back on it last night, I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen either, to be honest. But yeah. It's just the thing is this. But like the way I look at it, as much as like this is not a popular opinion, I'm kind of for the league. You know why? Because
so am I. I think the best teams need to play the best teams.
Yeah, so do I. But like the thing is, like you're ruining the foundation of soccer in the other countries. How are you going to have a Premier League without top of the six teams? You know what I mean? It just literally destroys what like the Premier League stands for and what they've built. You know what I mean? Like the brand of football that they've built. Like
right.
you're just going to destroy it. You know what I mean? And that's why a lot of people are fighting against it. But if you look at it from an entertainment and money perspective, it's a really good idea. Even like for fans, the fans might be against it right now. But once that thing is underway and they get up to 20 teams. Like, can you imagine, like, how often do you get to see teams play some of these top teams? You don't. So you just be giving the audience what they want on a more regular basis. But
so for our fans that might not know the most about the whole soccer format, these teams would only possibly play each other in Champions League or the Club World Cup, correct?
Not in the Club World Cup, because the Club World Cup is the other continents. The only way the teams in Europe could play each other is through Champions League or Europa League, which is a lesser version of the Champions League.
Right.
But most of these teams are in Champions League because they're a higher caliber of team. So, yeah.
So UEFA and FIFA have gone out and said that these players will be banned from the Euro Cup and the World Cup. Do you think these players will take that into consideration before joining this Champions League? Because I think these guys, they actually value these world championships over their club championships.
You know what? I think this is a tough thing to say because I don't know if it's going to come down to the players. A lot of the English teams are going to buy their own contracts out because right. Arsenal's owned by Arsenal, Man U, Liverpool. They're owned by Americans. Chelsea is a Russian owner. Man City's owner is Saudi or Qatari or he's Middle Eastern. Like. So for the teams that are owned by American owners, you could see why they're bored. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like even like when the managers are being asked this question, the managers are saying they have no idea because they don't actually know. But at the end of the day, if your ownership wants you to be a part of a league, you know what I mean? Like it's not going to come down to the players and the coaches or the fans even. It comes down to the ownership, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be a tricky situation. But like, yeah, I don't know if players are gonna start buying out their own contracts. They're already on high wages, so I don't really know what's gonna happen. UEFA or FIFA is supposed to have a meeting tonight about this with the leagues, so I'm not really sure what's come about that right now. But we'll see. I guess we'll see in a couple of hours.
For sure. All right. So thanks for that breakdown, Brandon. Does that give you a little bit more info than what I was able to provide?
I'm fascinated now.
No, you're not. Anyway, so. We're all huge wrestling fans, so we're going to do something here real quick. I want to hear everybody's dream WrestleMania event for next year. How's that sound?
Sounds good. Are we talking all WWE stars, or we're like a whole mixture?
Let's go currently employed by WWE. Otherwise, I think we'll be here for hours.
No worries.
All right. Brandon, do you want to kick us off?
Set up the story.
I don't know. That's not. No, we can set up the story if you want.
I will.
Brandon, you start us off, buddy.
No, when I goes my turn, you guys, if you have one, please go. It's like if you rush from behind from the golfers, it's like whoever's ready goes.
All right, I'll do it. So
well, go ahead.
Yeah, so my dream main event for next year, if we're just doing employed by WWE, would be Canadian Kevin Owens versus Canadian Edge. And I want them to build this story up as Kevin Owens is the guy who's been seeking glory this whole time.
You're literally doing what I told you to do, is giving a backstory, and you said no.
I'm doing it because you told me to do it, buddy. Anyway,
okay.
So I'm doing it. I'm doing this. I'm explaining. So I'm saying Kevin Owens is this guy who's been building up glory this whole time. He's always wanted to be the top dog. He had a taste of it for a little bit, and then it was ripped away by part-timer Goldberg. And then Edge comes in as a kind of like this part-timer almost guy where we all know he's full-time, but he's portrayed as a part-time guy. And like he gets the title. So I want to see Kevin Owens versus Edge, and with Edge with the title, and Kevin Owens beats Edge for the title on the main stage of WrestleMania. I think that would be a great story. And that WrestleMania should be hosted in Toronto, but they're not going to do that.
I was just gonna say you need that one to happen in Canada. You can't really have no one happening anywhere else.
WrestleMania 40, maybe. All right, Azaz, I think you're up, buddy.
I don't even know. You gotta. Are we gonna say that NXT call-ups are okay? That's the main.
Yeah. That's fair game.
I think you gotta have Finn Balor in the next WrestleMania main event. He's, you know what I mean. He's shown in NXT what he's capable of doing, and honestly, like his stock has just risen back up. You know what I mean? Prior to his him being in the main roster, so I feel like you'd have to have a Finn Balor WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
Against who?
I'm not sure who you'd have him against. I would say maybe you have to have him against. I don't know who you'd have him against, but you'd have to have him there.
I think a good opponent for him. Finn Balor, small guy, athletic. I'd like to see him get a decent match against Brock Lesnar. I know most people hate Brock Lesnar, but he is a good athlete, a good performer. This new Roman Reigns heel, that would be a good match for him as well. If you built the story up right, though, I think he could go in against anybody. And I think the best match for him, if you are able to reestablish the Fiend Bray Wyatt, I think that would be a fantastic feed.
I'll tell you what I just
came up with. Such a great match.
I think that if you do a storyline with Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns as your headliners, you can make it happen, because he never lost his title. He had to give up his title, so he still has that storyline you could bring up into the main roster,
sure.
right?
Yeah. All right, Brandon. All right, Brandon, let's hear it.
Three-way. It's not main event. Well, it's main event if you consider it.
No, it's your main event. You're Vince McMahon, buddy.
Three-way retirement match to the loser. Okay, wait.
Wow.
Yeah, three-way retirement match to the loser. And they might be where they are right now today, but this is WWE. They could all come back for WrestleMania. Edge versus Chris Jericho versus Christian retirement match.
All right. Well, two of those guys aren't even employed by WWE, but sure.
That's the problem. I don't care.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
That's actually you have to add. Then you
theoretically.
You have to throw Kevin Owens into that too. Then
you have to.
That's you have an all-Canadian final. That would be something.
A Canadian street fight.
Wrestling retirement. One of them.
That could be that would if you did Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho versus Christian versus Edge at the Sky Dome in Toronto, I think that would sell out.
Oh, 100%.
That'd be fantastic. So everybody's asking me why, you're probably, why are you guys talking pro wrestling right now? Well, I want to announce a spin-off podcast. We're going to be doing a pro wrestling podcast. We're not sure what day it's going to be on yet, but we will be recapping the week of fucking wrestling. We're going to talk WWE. We'll talk AEW. We'll talk TNA. We'll do anything else. So it's going to be myself. We're going to have Azaz on there. Brandon, I don't know if you'll jump in when you want to. I don't know if you're caught up.
Yeah, I thought I was on this shit.
All right, yeah, I guess Brandon's in too. So we're excited to announce that, and we're going to kick it off next week. Sound good with everybody?
Sounds good. I'm excited. Finally to get this thing going.
All right, so I'm going to sign us off here. Have a good day, everybody.